name's Najee Donson, and I'm from Rogersville, Missouri. On December 9th, 10th, it was the midnight range. My mom was in a car accident, and she was hit by a car, and she passed away. So.
Trey Rich from Memphis, Tennessee. I want to say 17. It was about 4 days before my high school graduation. My dad, he was a diabetic, and I think the cause of death was probably kidney failure. And while in the hospital, he caught pneumonia as well.
That night, I should have been the one in that car wreck. I was the one that didn't want to be here. And I was the one that said, I wish I would just get hit by a car. And I said all that. And I should have gone home. But I didn't. And I went to everybody else who I thought were always going to be there. Then go to the one person who always would be there. And now she's gone. My best friend, and I was over at her house, and that's where I found out. And I didn't find out till later because I ignored my phone call multiple times. So.
I probably was just getting out of football practice, and my mom really didn't want to break the news to me, so my big brother mentor was the one that told me.
I didn't really know what I thought. I was just like, no. And then there was a whole bunch of emotions that crossed my mind. I was mad, and I didn't know what happened. I was gonna kill somebody, especially if it was a drunk driver or something.
And the type of person I am, it takes time for stuff like that to set in with me, like reality check. So I really didn't start dealing with it until, my freshman years of college. And
I just broke down. I just wanted to get to her, but I couldn't. My mom was outgoing, very free-spirited. She liked to have fun.
He was a service type of guy. He was always trying to do things for the community. He had 2 neighborhood watches going on in 2 pretty, bad neighborhoods. Well, one of them, he was just trying to keep them safe and make sure they stayed up because there was a lot of old people in the neighborhood.
Because I started realizing how dependent on my mom I was, knowing that she was always there and I had somebody all the time, no matter what. And now that I'm by myself, I realized that I did look to her a lot, and I don't know, it's just, I don't have her, and now it's harder, and I make a lot of stupid decisions, and sometimes I go to pick up the phone and call her, but I realize that she's not gonna answer, and it sucks, and then I want to share some good news with her, but she's not there. So I went into depression, and I started doing drugs really hard, honestly, and I didn't think there was any way that I was gonna come back out of it. And school started getting hard. Above that, my cat died, and then I dropped out of school or withdrew from school, and I'm not playing basketball. And I figured that the drugs would also take care of it, and it made me feel like I was more in control of the situations. And drinking was the next option to bettering myself among a normal teenage life or a college student's life into where I was at. I actually had to go to a mental place, which that's not okay. And they never would have thought that I was gonna kill myself. I had my friends with me. We all got pretty drunk, and I decided to drive home. I don't drive drunk because that was something I promised my mom that I wouldn't do. And we're driving back, and we get pulled over. The officer, he said I swerved. I don't think I swerved. I just think that I was supposed to get pulled over, and the officer comes up and he asked if I'd been drinking, and something inside of my gut was be completely honest, and don't lie about anything, and just know that this is your fault. There's a roach which is weed thing, in my car, it wasn't mine, but I didn't want to like throw anybody on the bus, so I was like, it's mine. And he told me to throw it, and I was just like, wait, what? I was like, am I gonna get in trouble for this? Like, he's like, throw it over there. And so I threw it, and he looked at me and he said, Najee, is there anything in this car that I'm gonna find that's gonna get you in trouble? And I was like, yeah, in my backpack. And he goes, what am I gonna find? And I told him, and he says, Najee, you haven't been in trouble since you were a freshman, and then since you were in high school whenever you got arrested the first time. And we've seen a lot of improvement in you. And he says, I lost my mom when I was your age, and to drugs, and I chose to go into law enforcement. I'm gonna let you go. You have 6 months, and they can press charges if they want, and you might be going to jail, for a while, but for right now, go be better than what you're being right now. It took God that's like to pull me out of it. This is what happened. And I'm lucky that I'm here right now because of like God, because I was in a really deep depression, and I just wanted to go. So.
I was pretty much trying to just stay distracted, and it took a toll on me, but it was like subconsciously I wasn't paying attention to what it was doing. So grades were falling because I was trying to just have as much fun as possible, party, kick it, and just keep my mind off of what was really going on.
I miss her just all around, and the person that she was, because she didn't really care what. Okay, hold on. Like, my mom, everywhere she went, like, she'd always somehow put a smile on people's face, no matter what her mood was, and she always seemed to give me and my brothers everything that we wanted, no matter our financial state, and she did everything that she could, knowing that, like, she had some issues of her own, but she was the strongest woman I know, and I just miss the fact that she's not there to just like stand behind me in my decisions, because she was my rock that I could stand on, and she's gone. So I have to do it on my own.
Just being able to call and say, hey, just the small things like that, hearing his voice, seeing his smile, hearing his laugh.
Me and my mom were, she was my best friend. Like, we were like sisters, best friend. Like, she was at almost all of my basketball games, all my everything. Like, she took me to all my tournaments, any sport. Like, she was always there. Like, she was my security blanket. Like, and now I just feel like there's no one there to protect me anymore. I have to do it myself. And yeah, I like put off this tough shell, but it's only because my mom showed me how to do that.
Me and my granddad have actually gotten closer because him and my dad were really close. And so we both were missing him. So we kind of filling the void for each other. He ran for state representative, and a lot of people feel like if he could have ran a second time, he probably would have got in office. He was good friends with Al Gore. He was, really politically known. He was a good guy from what I've known. We weren't always around each other because him and my mom separated, but it was, we had some type of relationship. I saw him very often.
Don't take anything for granted, because life isn't as it all seems to be, and it's not easy.
Cherish the time, because tomorrow's not promised. Make sure your loved ones know that you love them, and life's too short for grudges and bicker.